Hi everyone, this is another cross-sectional model of the cell. This time though I've added these gray items that represent proteins and specifically protein channels for items to move in and out. How I want you to think of this yellow stuff is just like those little phospholipids with the charged head and that is hydrophilic, likes water, and those tails that are hydrophobic, they don't like water. And if you imagine the cell membrane like this with these little phospholipids, that's what this should look like. There's just the line in the middle because it's a model and that helps keep the model together. So there's our little phospholipid bilayer. Okay. And the thing is, oxygen and CO2 can diffuse smoothly out of these because, just like here, there's room in between those phospholipids, and I showed you that on the other video. But now I'm going to talk about what happens when you have items that are too big to get through the bilayer or that are charged. Potassium and sodium are both positive and they can't get through because those hydrophilic tails are not happy letting these charged particles through. So potassium can actually come in through this protein channel, and don't worry about whether or not different protein channels open or not. Just know that this can diffuse through. So see, this is going from high to low concentration because there's more potassium out there. And so this is diffusion, and it's called facilitated diffusion because it's got a helper, a protein channel, to facilitate that diffusion. Same with water. See, water, we've got a high concentration of water outside our cell, and oh, we don't have any inside our cell right now. So this is osmosis, which is a type of diffusion, and this is facilitated because there's a channel here. This is called an aquaporin, A-Q-U-A-P-O-R-I-N, aquaporin, because it's a pore or a little channel that lets water through. And the water is going to go again from high to low concentration. These don't require extra energy because the water is just water, or the other molecules are just moving through them. Same here with this big molecule, goes through this protein channel, and it doesn't require any extra energy because just the molecule going in helps that protein channel open up. And then once that molecule's out, the protein channel resets. And so again, these items are moving through facilitated diffusion from high to low concentration, moving through that channel, and just the molecule moving through the channel resets the channel. Okay. And this channel is specifically made for these molecules and these molecules only, just like an aquaporin is specifically made for water to go through. This channel is specifically made for that potassium to go through. And all three of these are facilitated diffusion, so there's no extra energy needed other than the natural energy, because these molecules actually are moving just a tiny bit all the time, and they're bouncing off each other and bump, bump. It's kind of like bumper cars out here. Bump, bump, bump. Because molecules have natural energy to them. They're always moving. Okay. Then here's the one that is active transport. This moves molecules against their concentration gradient. And this requires extra energy in the form of ATP, which I'll do with a Shazam! ATP. Okay. And so potassium is going to move from, sodium. The red dots are blue dots are sodium, are going to move from low to high concentration through the sodium-potassium pump. And so our sodiums are going to go in here, and there's going to be, Shazam! Some ATP. That's extra energy. And do you remember where ATP came from? Yeah, cellular respiration. It's why you eat glucose. Okay, and then the sodiums come out, and again, they're moving from low to high concentration, so it requires energy. And these potassiums are moving the other way from low to high concentration. So again, the opposite way that they normally would, and that uses up the rest of the energy from the ATP, so that goes away. And then the potassiums are in there. So I hope that is helpful looking at our cell membrane model of our cross-section of the cell, and the fact that items need to move through protein channels either passively with facilitated diffusion or actively with active transport, needing an input of Shazam, of ATP. So thank you, and let me know if you have questions.